I think it's incumbent on both those who have been in the business a while and have that experience that you mentioned, and also those that are newer or just getting started or are early in their journey. I think it's incumbent on both ends of that spectrum to approach every issue with a bit of humility and kindness, right? To where we're not demeaning or belittling others, or we're not completely disrespecting others as well. And either end of that spectrum, respect and tact and approaching things with the right attitude is really key, isn't it?
Absolutely. And then add on top of that, messaging and writing, it can be very, very harsh, which is why we do these video podcasts, because I can say the same thing in writing and it comes across as, wow, what a rear end. He just told me X. Well, maybe I was in a hurry and, we're all busy. And sometimes I write something, I look back at it later, sometimes the same day, sometimes a half hour later, sometimes 2 days later, I see something, I think, whoa, that was not really what I intended to say. But I read it and I'm like, oh, terrible. That was a little too harsh. It wasn't intended that way. So we compound the problem with social media being something where I quickly reply to something because I'm on to something else. And sometimes I don't do a great job. And what you said a little bit earlier about maybe having some grace as well toward, or just, you know what, if I say something poorly and I have, guilty, and you call me out on it nicely, half the time I'll go back and rewrite those sentences and try to make them nicer, maybe more than that. And anybody looks at my post, go look at how many times I have edited after my little post, because what you're going to see is I read it later and sometimes I think, ooh, that came across as too harsh or not. So we kind of have both dynamics playing off where I'm an adult. Don't you dare tell me what to do. That's half my mentality, okay? And then also I'm an adult, but in this area, I'm learning something. So then I have to go, well, okay, Donnie didn't mean to say, maybe how Donnie wrote it, it might have come across harsher than he intended. And once we have a dialogue, then he writes, yeah. What I really meant was this. And hopefully he goes back and amends the first one.